September producer price inflation decreases by 1 percentage point over August's figure. On the foreign front, Sudanese government says it believes Israel was responsible for explosions at a military factory in the capital, Khartoum, today. We have all these and many more coming up in the bulletin in a moment. In our very first story, sailors aboard the Argentine ship detained at the Tema Harbor since the beginning of the month today left Ghana to their various destinations. Officials at the Tema Harbor tell Joy News 279 of the crew were taken through the necessary clearance procedures, leaving behind the captain and essential staff to take care of the frigate.
The Tema Port official told Joy News the 279 sailors were transported to the airport in 15 buses after the Immigration Service and Customs had processed all necessary documentation. He said they left aboard an Air France plane. The over 300 crew of the Libertad got stuck in Ghana when the ship was impounded by a court order on October 2 after it had docked at the Tema Port. NML Capital, a subsidiary of the U.S. hedge fund Elliott Capital Management, which says Argentina owes it more than $300 million, secured the court order to detain the naval vessel until the death is cleared. Argentina ordered the evacuation of the crew over the weekend, with the president stating the seizure was an act of blackmail by the creditors.
The Multimedia Group Limited, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has again awarded scholarships to 13 senior high school students. They are the first batch of students to be awarded this year. The scholarship initiative by the Multimedia Group Ghana Limited is intended to support selected brilliant but needy young people to enable them complete their senior high school education.
The Multimedia Group Limited, although noted for broadcast, has different projects that seeks to improve living conditions of the society. One of such is Educare, which was launched in November 2008. Educare is a scholarship award scheme available to needy but brilliant students in SHS. The scholarship caters for student tuition fee, school books, and also pocket money. A total of 22 students have received the scholarship so far. Out of the 20 that would be added, 13 were awarded today. The remaining 7 will be awarded their scholarship in the second phase. Jane Jechi is the Chief HR Business Partner for Multimedia Group.
For the last 17 years, our activities have focused on community health and well-being of the underprivileged and also on education. However, a lot of our support on education has been ad hoc. That's why in 2008, the Educare Trust Fund began its operations in a more structured way to sponsor bright and yet needy students who, without financial assistance, may drop out of school. The main objective of the fund is to contribute towards the building of requisite human resource capacity to drive the development of our dear nation Ghana, one person at a time.
Schools are selected from different regions, after which teachers from those schools present 2 names of brilliant students for the Educare Award. However, Reverend Amma Afoblay, chairperson of the Educare Fund, says getting the students is a challenge, which, according to her, is the reason for the 1-year break in awarding scholarship.
Some of the challenges we've had in administering this fund has been the non-response from schools, which actually surprised us. We write to schools for us to get the candidates to interview and put them through the process and to award them with scholarships. And some schools do just not reply. And this is partly the reason why we've had a break in the awards of scholarship.
She also implored beneficiaries to work hard to make good grades as justification for the award. She encouraged them to cultivate the habit of reading, which is a sure way of helping brain development.
Students these days, I think you are becoming too narrow in your study. Read novels, read other books. It's actually by reading novels, good novels, I'm not talking about comics, that you will develop your English language. The basic thing that you need to even study whatever you want to study.
Though the scholarship is awarded to students, there is no doubt that the scholarship helped both parents and children. A past beneficiary who shared his experience and the parents expressed their gratitude to multimedia.
I'm really thankful to the Educare Trust Fund. Words cannot really say how thankful I am. And it's a really life-changing moment. I know all of you here are really feeling it. And then I don't really know what to say. It's really so cool. It's like a burden off your head.
More than burden. They've done more than excellent. Because I had a sickness. I became sick I've been a sick person for the past 7 years. So I believe with this, my sickness will die off.
A beneficiary of this year's Educare scholarship also expressed his joy and called on other stakeholders to emulate the multimedia example.
Today, as I said earlier, marks a turning point in my fortune. So, basically, I'm very elated. They should emulate this move by the multimedia group because you realize those are the helms of affairs. Take advantage of these initiatives to help those who don't actually need such support. So I think they should maintain neutrality in the discharge of their duties.
Educare is linked with multimedia's core value of community. The multimedia group believes its businesses must create sustainable value for the communities within which it works. The investment in the education of young people is considered by the multimedia group as one of the most important contributions to the community.
The National Health Insurance Authority is to start the issuance of instant biometric ID cards. The project will start on a pilot basis with the police service in November and aims to resolve delays with the issuance of IDs to subscribers.
Currently, persons who register with the National Health Insurance Scheme have to wait for 3 to 4 months to get their IDs, and in some cases, they never receive it at all and have to go through the whole process again. As one of the major challenges facing subscribers of the scheme, the NHIS says it would be issuing instant biometric identity cards to its subscribers, and a pilot study of the exercise would begin with the police service in November.
We have a new arrangement that will be piloting by the end of November, where subscribers would register and receive their card instantly. The pilot will start with the police service, and because these are a homogeneous group, if there are challenges associated with it, we would be able to quickly address. But we're also looking at a situation where, whilst we're doing that, we also spread across the schemes and get all the schemes to also begin on a small scale.
Speaking on some other challenges faced by the authority, the Chief Executive Officer mentioned that provider payment has been improved over 2009 performance, where huge payments were recorded.
Our payment arrangement to providers has improved. In 2009, we had a payment gap, an arrears arrangement or regime spanning between 7 to 12 months. As we speak today, we have reduced that drastically. Of course, a lot more can be done to reduce the gap. Unfortunately, as we speak today, we have paid providers up to the month of June. We are currently working on July, August payments, which we hope to effect in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
The authority also says its reform initiatives such as Management Claims Center with the pilot exercise would further boost its delivery.
We have set up the Claims Processing Center, which currently manages all the big ticket claims from all our teaching hospitals. We've set up a call center. The idea is to develop a platform where these challenges could be logged real time and where we could deploy a rapid response team to address the problems as they arise.
He therefore called on all subscribers to use the call center to lodge their complaint.
The law provides for not only a national or a social health insurance scheme, but also private health insurance schemes who would provide benefits over and above the basic package provided by the social health insurance scheme. And we're looking forward to reform our relationship and operations of private health insurance scheme. But essentially, we are encouraging private health insurance schemes to operate alongside the social health insurance scheme.
He acknowledged that, though the scheme is faced with some peculiar challenges, it is blazing the trail as far as social health insurance is concerned.
A middle-aged man believed to be mentally handicapped was found dead near the Techiman Methodist Junior High School. The body, which appeared mutilated, was found with his legs in vehicle tires.
When the Joy News crew got to the scene, a crowd had gathered to catch a glimpse of them. Were wondering what might have caused the death. Others were worried that Techiman is increasingly become unsafe at night. They complained about the absence of streetlights from Methodist Junior High School to Hanswan, a suburb of Techiman. A resident of the area, Kweku Ampofo, believes the man might have been mistaken for a robber and lynched. He suggested the setting up of a watchdog committee to curb such incidents in Techiman. The Techiman Municipal Crime Officer, DSP Kusi Apia, mentioned the man's name as Kwesi Francis, who hails from Jamat Temponim, a town close to Techiman. He told Joy News that initial checks revealed that Kwesi Francis was murdered by unknown assailants who mistook him for a thief. He cautioned the public against instant justice. The body has since been deposited at the Techiman Holy Family Hospital morgue awaiting autopsy. Nesta Kafui Ajumo's report for Joy News.
Expectant mothers who live in the Gonse Agape community here in Accra continue to deliver their babies at home. Residents complain the nearest clinic is 18 miles away, a distance they would have to commute on foot.
This is Zero, Bawe, and Gonse Road linking the main Malam Highway. The state of the road speaks for itself.
Said you quite say, a higher habby bree. He said, I had say, go to Crana.
The situation is worse when it rains. The Joy News crew got stuck in the middle of what could be described as a manhole. Taxis and other commercial vehicles are not left out. The deplorable nature of the road has scared away most commercial drivers. But do you blame them? The queue here started forming since 5 a.m. Wednesday, with commuters waiting for a vehicle which may never come.
Almost 1 hour. By
the time the news team was about leaving the scene at 11 a.m., the first commercial vehicle for the day had arrived. Those who were not fortunate to get on board had to trek the almost 18-mile journey on foot. Residents have resolved that they have been sidelined from the developmental projects.
Ya haidie nyamesi ankan kra minim se kan kran for ho a senso enkran kra bia se ne yete de a different thing yete ha se ye free suru ha o trotro kra ntimi nkọ se mo betimi akomanim kakra mo hu se de kwan ne sitie nsuo no kanea no nti so betimi aye bibi pa de a omonye bibi mfa ho na ye bre wo man mu ni zero hilltop height nyan tan na mo bokeke enkwara be nante sa komalam akofa car dia ko school no masia nante asande aba because there's no car.
This is the Gonse area. Here, most pregnant women, especially those with no personal vehicles, deliver their babies by themselves at home.
Eba abrewa bi won tam hanu won na ji nkofo awo ti duru de mu odin agi se 190 akọ 1000 rank ase oton sana akofa car bia ni ha area m ha
ehane car seme ya den to be kwase obeba no na wawa tufi esa se car ni ha na doctor bi ani ha no nti ase kwakọ peka e wase wa ba no no pako ne be ye no no aye na hwi.
Expectant mothers walk 18 miles to access the nearest clinic located at Malam. Coupled with these issues is lack of potable water in the area.
Parliament today adopted the Committee on Health report on the Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Bill 2010.
The bill is seeking to consolidate all the laws establishing these regulatory bodies into one enactment due to their similarity in nature. It also seeks to enhance the performance of the regulatory bodies to make them more efficient. The health regulatory bodies were originally established by the Medical and Dental Act 1972, NRCD 91, Nurses and Midwives Act, NRCD 117, and the Pharmacy Act 1994, Act 489. Other health regulatory bodies like the Allied Health Professionals Council and the Psychology Council, who have not been regulated for years, have been added to the enactment. The bill, when passed, will establish the health professions regulatory bodies for allied health professionals, doctors, dentists, nurses, midwives, pharmacists, and psychologists. The Joint Committee on Finance and Works and Housing is expected to present its report on the credit agreement between the Government of Ghana and Commonwealth Business Council Global Invest Limited for an amount of $67,975,264 for the construction of 1,008 housing units for the military and the police.
You're watching Joy News on the Multi-TV channel. My name is Israel Lai. We have more stories coming up. On to business, and the year-on-year inflation from the producer's perspective for all industries for September 2012 was 16.8%. This rate of 1.0 percentage points lower than that for August 2012.
The monthly inflation rate for September 2012 was 1.3%, similar to what was recorded in August 2012. Manufacturing recorded the highest year-on-year inflation rate of 20.5%, followed by mining and quarrying 19.5%, and then utilities 3.0%. The highest monthly charge of 5.7% was recorded in the mining and quarrying sector. The ex-factory prices of goods for all industry increased on average by 16.8% in September 2012, relative to the price level recorded in September 2011. The monthly change rate compared to August 2012 increased by 1.3% in September 2012. The producer inflation rate of the mining and quarrying sector increased by 2.6 percentage points relative to the rate recorded in August 2012, which was 16.9%. The manufacturing rate for September 2012 was 0.1 percentage points higher than that for August 2012.
For all industry, the rate has declined from around 20% until that was from around 20% in September 2011 to about 16.8% in September 2012. So we see that manufacturing and oil industry following a similar pattern.
Utilities rate for September 2012 was lower than that of August 2012 by 7.5 percentage points.
Another news, civil society platform on oil and gas has accused Sinopec for overpricing materials for both power plant and pipes at the Takoradi thermal plant. Dr. Steve Mantiao claimed Sinopec International Petroleum Services Corporation is delivering a processing plant that is costing $40 million more than another plant which is considered superior by virtue of having 5 additional features, including specifications that are favorable to the Volta River Authority, adding that GNGC remains indifferent. Dr. Mantiao stated that attempts by the Petroleum Commission and the Ministry of Energy to obtain details of the transactions entered into by GNGC and Sinopec were thwarted by its Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Sipa Yankee. The group is also calling on Parliament to take immediate steps to call for the GNGC-Sinopec deal to be laid before it for debate and possible ratification in order to streamline GNGC's activities. Meanwhile, Kwesi Boche, board chairman of GNGC, said every act of procurement by the GNGC had been done in strict accordance with the country's procurement laws and in compliance with the company's own internal regulations. Former Societe Generale trader Jerome Kerviel has lost his appeal in Paris against a 3-year prison sentence with an additional 2 years suspended for forgery and breach of trust. The ex-trader lost the bank almost 5 billion euros in 2008 and was convicted in 2010.
Jerome Kerviel, who was also convicted of unauthorized computer use, has always said his bosses knew what he was doing. He will also have to pay back the losses incurred by the bank. However, Societe Generale has said it will not demand full payment. The trader's lawyer said his clients might consider a second appeal against the original sentence. Societe Generale's lawyer said the bank will take into account Kerviel's income and assets when deciding how much it wanted its ex-employee to pay back. Jean Veil said it would be indecent if Kerviel kept money made from his actions at the bank, for example, from any book or film rights. Despite his claims that his superiors knew all about his actions, Kerviel's former bosses and colleagues lined up to testify against him during the trial in 2010. The judge at the time ruled that the trader knowingly went beyond his remit. Kerviel has been banned from trading for life, while Societe Generale was also fined 4 million euros by French regulators for failures in its risk control systems following the scandal.
Now bring you some smart investment tips.